right? Yeah. What?
I'm telling you, man.
No,
The broadcast. If we ever start a broadcast company,
wait. The DJ's.
What?
DJ's got to talk. DJ's got to talk.
The DJ's always cutting on my thunder, man.
Intro. Well, good radio voice. Come on. Welcome again to another episode of Drake and Maestro. Almost relevant.
I got bronchitis. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Wait a minute. I just realized something. Aren't you the DJ?
You gonna say anything? Well,
I did say something.
I'm a host.
Oh.
Host.
I'm also.
There's no records here There are no records here to jockey. So,
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess we're not spinning discs. So, I was just saying, if we ever start a broadcast company, it's got to be called Toaster Radio.
I was gonna say we was talking about Drake and the Maestros. We had to do our own movies. So I think we have better concept for movies than most of Hollywood does.
I definitely have better concept for movies.
We should do a podcast of nothing but Drake and the Maestros alternate movie universe, because once you've seen it, you realize
it's not just movies. It's TV too.
Sure.
It's everything. Yeah. It's multimedia. We're a multimedia powerhouse waiting to be tapped.
That's correct. We don't, and for the most part, the ideas don't originate with us. It's just we know how to make it better and make it.
We know how to make it good.
Yeah, that's right.
We know what the people with the lizard brains want.
And you were fighting me on the other guys, because jumping into nowhere without any explanation is comedically gold as the landscaping. Yeah. So it's stuff like that, but it's also just conceptually. There's some conceptual missteps in some popular films.
Well, they finally
missed it by that much.
A good example of that was the Ghostbusters reboot with the women, right? That just kind of fell on its face because it wasn't as good. The writing wasn't very good.
No, the writing wasn't there, and then they were trying to take themes from the original, but then do it with the new.
But it wasn't a sequel. But it wasn't a reboot either. It was just kind of this weird middle movie. And what they ended up doing with the Ghostbusters series when they made Ghostbusters, was it 3 with the kids?
Yeah.
Was exactly what my idea was for Ghostbusters, which is they find the car and they're all kind of related to the original Ghostbusters, but not not directly. But they find the car and one of the old characters taking care of it, but it's out back or buried.
Right,
and then which is what the ghosts.
Obviously,
which is what they ended up doing anyway.
That's right.
And that one was a big success.
And so I'm going to do it here, put it out here. Remember, we were talking about how the baby from the first movie isn't really... Yeah. He's in the second one because, he's kind of grown up. But if you're going to do this whole afterlife thing, that guy needs to come back as an adult, as either a villain or a hero. One of the two.
Or I'm thinking villain, even.
Yeah.
A Vero? No. Yeah, I think villain. Villain works.
Yeah.
I'm always a big fan of the villains, so,
So, that'd be good radio. Yeah.
That'd be good radio.
Yeah. Good toaster. It'd be a good toaster.
Good toaster. That's what I'm saying. Toaster radio.
Toaster. Isn't there something like that already?
I don't know.
I'm going to look it up. I'm going to look it up. I'm going to see if it's a real thing or not.
That's a song by Rage Against the Machine, so we're not going to talk about that.
I'm going to look it up. I'm looking it up right now. Because...
You can't threaten me. Look, I'm covering my head.
No, there's radio. There's radio toaster, but there's no toaster radio. So there you go. It's wide open for you.
Wide open for us. I'm claiming it now on podcast and claiming it toaster radio. It's mine. Trademark, copyright, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm claiming it. Sticking my flag in it.
It's done. Tink, it popped up. Thanks, Bingo.
That's right, popped up. Our ideas are just popping up. That's the other thing we're good at. Marketing slogans. You need a good marketing slogan? Come to us. We got it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We could do marketing slogans. Although we did that slogan service for a while.
Yeah, but they didn't know what they were doing.
No, and it turned out that it was just people wanting exposure for their product and or service. And it was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, that's what a lot of it was. It was
supposed to be
it was like
pitching,
Or it was like Pitchman or something like that was the name of the website, and it was supposed to be like you crowdsourcing a slogan for your product, your app or your doohickey or your widget, but it really just ended up being they would put a thing out and be like, we need a slogan for this, and then the thing would end and nothing would be picked, or they would pick like this very bland kind of blasé entry,
Right.
And some of that is also just I don't know if you've dealt with this a little bit, where middle managers have to feel like they did something.
They have to justify their existence.
Yeah, they have to justify their existence.
In his Office Space, the guy that gets hit by the vehicles in a neck brace, and he's being interviewed by the Bobs. Like, exactly, what do you do here? Well, I take the order from the customers to the engineers. So you physically take the... Well, no, my secretary does that. Oh, listen, I got people skills. I'm important.
Yeah, I'm important. Of course. But like, there's really famous examples of like having, like in the music industry, you have the ghost fader or the producer fader, where you just push a fader, like, oh, I need to have more of this in the mix, and they just push one fader up. I'm like, yeah, now I hear it. And nothing's changed.
It started with the Beach Boys because the old man wanted to ride the gain on the master recording, and so they just gave him a fader to nowhere. And he would, quote, ride the gain. He's doing nothing. So see how much better that is? Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it happens all the time.
It's like our race car driver. Oh, man, I can't control the car. like, okay, yeah, that sounds serious. Let me take a look at it. And get in there and, oh, yeah. I changed the tire pressure, adjusted the caster, the camber. You know, you're good to go. Yeah, we changed the ride height. Get out there and hit it. He comes back in. It's like, oh, yeah, this is much better. The car owner's like, wow, he is much faster. What'd you do? I'm like, nothing.
It's called a placebo effect. It happens a lot. It happens in film and TV production as well, where they will leave very glaringly obvious mistakes in edits and send that off to the producers in the studio, so that all the middle managers that are going to get involved have something to pick at.
Right. Oh yeah.
There was something they were going to take out anyway, but they left it in so that they don't find something else to pick at, so they have to change.
Yeah. When I was training people, partners, and business, and I would go in. It would be for businesses that we'd service after hours, and I would go in there, and they're diligently putting everything back, because we would go from one person's desk to another because we're servicing computers.
Right. I remember that.
And they would diligently be putting everything right back where it came from. I'm like, no.
You don't just leave it wherever you put it down.
Like, but then people will see that their desk is messed up. Right. Somebody with a computer guy was here. Right. I don't want to hear about, do you guys even do anything? I want, if there's a complaint, I want to be, the computer guys were here and all my stuff.
I'd fiddle with their stapler, or play with their squishy toy on the desk, whatever.
Right.
Whatever it was. And then I just put it down wherever. Whatever.
Yeah. I made sure I rearranged your desktop icons.
I wasn't doing that because I wasn't, If you take a screenshot of it as their desktop, hide all the icons, whatever.
That's cool. I've never done that. Never. I keep clicking this icon and it doesn't move. Yeah. Nah, I would never do that.
No, never. We only use our powers for good, not evil. But I was only doing it because I was
good entertainment.
All right, I was only doing it because I was younger and just didn't care. But it also worked. It did the same thing. It just told them that, hey, somebody's been at my desk.
Right.
It did something, because like my stapler was over there, and now it's over.
Okay,
now it's in the middle.
There are people listening right now who are about to be enraged. I would always make sure I emptied the recycle bin in the computer. Right. So I'm there to do maintenance. So part of the maintenance is taking out the trash. But I know because I've seen it. There's plenty of people that use the recycle bin as some kind of weird archive.
Needed it. Technical difficulties again.
Right. What's it doing? I needed that file. What? No. I'm here.
Okay.
Wait.
Oh, you're on a delay.
There's something weird going on with the connection. I needed that file. Then why is it in your recycle bin?
Right. Well, I was storing it for later, so I knew where to find it. That's what your desktop is for, or other folders. Like, don't put it in the recycle bin. Yeah, this is, if you really want to get them, you recycle bin, you empty it, and then you format their hard drive.
Well, that wouldn't be that malicious.
Hard drive.
But what you do is you empty all the deleted items in the email too.
Everything in the email trash, everything, all gone. And then you defrag the hard drive.
Well,
so it can never be recovered again because the hard drive.
Well, and we had it where if it wasn't on the server, or if it wasn't, because every employee had their own. We issued their own personal.
Yeah, they had their own
drive.
file on the server.
Yeah, they had their own. They had their own shared space, and they had a flash drive. and we had storage on the cloud later on. If the file wasn't in any one of those places, then it wasn't critical.
It's just gone.
Yeah.
Guess what? You don't got them no more. Sucks to suck.
And you know what the funny thing is? That only happens once.
Yeah, maybe twice.
No, never.
Usually
I never had it
once.
happen twice. I was like, where did all my stuff go? It's gone.
It's gone.
But I had recipes and I had it gone.
On your work computer?
Sites. Work computer. Oh, we had a rash in one office. We had a rash of couponing.
Oh no.
I think
I remember that.
They went to the president like, we want to be able to use the computer, because this was back when most people still had a dial-up connection at home.
Yeah.
So
or didn't even have a computer.
Right. So having a bonded T1 was like big deal, so they would come in and do all their interneting, if you will. They want to do it at work.
At the work.
And they asked me, the president of the company asked me, do you see a problem of allowing the employees to use their computers on the internet during, breaks and whatnot? I'm like, absolutely problem. Yes, I do. I see many problems. So I guess after much wailing, moaning, and gnashing of teeth, he gave in and started letting them, use the computer during break time, which you know how that eventually spread. And so there was a rash of couponing going on. Remember when coupons this and it was the biggest vector for infection was through these coupon websites.
And all the toolbars that came with it.
Oh yes, all those toolbars. Oh, and then all the Trojans that came with those.
There's something our younger audience won't know anything about. The different toolbars. Because you didn't just have the Google built in. No. Every website or couponer or whatever had to have wanted to install its own toolbar on your browser so that you could access the information at that site at any time. And that was the number one way to get your computer infective. Oh yeah, they were cumulative. You had a Yahoo toolbar and a Google.
Right, so you know that you're looking at an infected computer.
Toolbar, MapQuest toolbar, and half your screen ended up being nothing but toolbars.
And then you had to get a toolbar.
If you ever watch the IT crowd, that's the browser. The lady shouldn't be there.
Oh, the lady doesn't bother me. It's like I can't find the button for the internet. The button for the internet.
The browser is the internet.
Right.
I haven't seen that one since the 90s.
Yeah.
You want to walk around with a laptop from The Exorcist? That's just fine.
And you had to get a toolbar to police the toolbars. It was called Toolbar Cop. Yeah. Oh, that was a mess. So I go in.
The Wild West days of the internet, back when anything was possible.
Thank goodness we put a big firewall. We put a big managed firewall in immediately. As soon as they got high speed, we went immediately to a managed on-site solution firewall, and then layered security, because I get the warning, Will Robinson email from the firewall. Warning.
Like, yeah.
Look at the logs on my holy crap. Right. I'm looking at the logs on the one node, which just happens to be the account manager, right, for all the accounting. Like the person who supervises all the sensitive financial data for the companies on that one computer. And the firewall's going, danger, warning. It's all coming from that one computer. I'm like, holy crap, I gotta get in there.
Open that computer, it's like, it's been possessed by Gozer the Zarian.
It looks like Pac-Man. Wait,
you're right.
How do you do this? How do you even get? Well, I just minimize that out of the way, and I go over here, and it's fine. It's like, it's not fine.
That's right. The lady shouldn't be there.
That's right.
Well, right. You open the computer, and it's there is no computer. There is.
There you go.
The
There's your next browser. There's your next browser, buddy. Yeah, you should just we'll have to release that as a browser.
It's a browser extension, and all it does is completely black out the screen, and that's all it says. There is only Zool. You can't browse anything.
What you should do it at random. Actually, you know what? I could write it as an app and tie it into the Microsoft updates, because you know what happens every time you want to use your computer. What does it do? Oh, we got updates. No, but I got this very important thing. I got to get out of here.
There is no computer. There is only updates, and it just goes to the blue update screen.
That's right. And we'll name the app Gozer.
Gozer,
right?
yeah, Gozer is Arian.
Gozer. Right. There's only updates.
Oh man, there'd be a lot of nerds who would really love that.
There's really, that's really what's going, because you got to get like just a little bit of information, like maybe your insurance policy number or something, because you're trying to do something, and all you want to do is open your computer and get that information. So you open it, and of course you've been doing most of the stuff. You're doing most of the stuff on your phone now, right? Not the computer. The computer's just there. Right, so the computer's there as a backup, or if you need more information than your phone can give you, or whatever.
Or you need a bigger browser, or it's like it doesn't work on your phone.
Yeah. So you open the computer. The computer hasn't been run for several days, so it's sitting there scheming, calculating. I'm going to get some updates as soon as they connect me to the internet. Right. So that's exactly what happens. You turn the computer on. It finally boots up because like it's going through. Like, it's like you're waking Rip Van Winkle, and
right.
It finally comes on. Finally connects to the internet and goes, oh, look at all those lovely updates. And it just starts crunching updates, and you can't do a darn thing for the next 4 hours while Microsoft introduces you to the next computing experience that you didn't want in the first place.
Right, and then you go to do it. And then you go to do. Finally, the updates are done. Like 12 hours later, you've gone to bed, you've gotten up, you've had your coffee for the morning. Finally,
strangely, the computer's sitting there with a fresh cup of coffee. It's like, wait a minute.
Right, and a cigarette.
Right.
and you finally open it and you get it going, and all your presets are gone, all your saved passwords are gone, everything's gone. You can't log into anything because now everything requires two-factor authentication. And you the email account that you've set up for the two-factor authentication, you can't remember the password for that, so you try to get into a different email. It's just a whole thing.
Indeed. That's right. All because you just had to have that account number.
Right. That might be some real pain that I've experienced with my iTunes on my Android device, because I've bought a lot of music when Apple first came out. I had an iTunes account because it was free for students to get, and you got discounts on Apple products.
That's how they rope you in.
Well, once you're into the Apple ecosystem, it's really hard to get back out.
That's right.
So I have because of the long-standing iTunes account that I have through Apple, an Apple ID. I've had an Apple ID for better part of 20 years at this point. Hey,
I still have an AOL ID. How do you like that?
There you go. And
that's just proves my old man status.
Every now and again, the iTunes app on Android will just log itself out. It'll be like, nope, log out. But it's never consistent, and it's always just long enough for me to forget what the password is.
You're still using the iTunes app on Android?
Yeah, because it gives me access to all my paid-for music.
Yeah, but you can do that with... Is it streaming it, or is it storing it on your Android?
It can either or, whatever I want.
Oh, because I just use the paid version of Player Pro, and I can play all my iTunes music on it, plus all the other stuff that I've ripped, and I don't have to contend with the iTunes app.
Well, anyway, so
but if you download Gozer, that changes all that, because then it'll just.
But let me hang on. I'm not done. So I forget the password inevitably, because it's been about a year since the last time it logged me out, and I've long since forgotten what that password was. So I have to change the password, right? Because I can't remember it. So I must reset the almighty password. And will it send me an email to reset my password? No. Will it text my phone to reset the password? No.
Not.
It's an Apple thing. So what do you need? An Apple device. And if you don't have an Apple device, you better get a friend with one, because if you want to reset your password, you need an Apple device.
Or you got to remember the 3 super secret squirrel questions. I've done it that way.
I've done it that way, and then it goes, okay, you need to connect now. Look at your iPhone. I don't have an iPhone. I tried to do it through the browser. I've tried. It's a mess.
Well,
it never makes
it. Yeah. Here's where you got to use your computer, because I've been in that loop, and the way out is to use a computer browser on a computer.
Yes,
because it knows you're on a smartphone. It knows you're on a smartphone if you're on a smart device.
It's like, you should have an iPhone.
Yeah, that's right.
I got your iPhone right here.
Guerrilla marketing right there.
Oh, it's an angry gorilla in the corner trying to beat you to death with a table.
You need to make an appointment with a genius at the Apple Store. No, not that.
Not that. Hey, you mean I'm going to get snarked at for not owning an iPhone for the next 20 minutes? Oh, man.
Yeah, exactly. Plus, you have to go further into the ecosystem. It's no.
The Apple. Okay, listen. I got a bone to pick with Apple. With Apple, not Apple the company. Apple fans specifically.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because Apple is using old technology. They are about 4 generations behind the average Android phone. But somehow, through some very clever marketing, they have positioned themselves as the leader in smartphone technology. I'll give you some examples here. They just introduced they just introduced like the internal antenna of the phone on the phone, so it doesn't have that metal ring anymore like they've always had. Because they don't need it doesn't need to have the metal ring to be the antenna anymore. It can have an internal antenna. Like most Samsungs have had for like ever. Or how about we go with the shatter resistant glass on the screen, right? Like most Androids have had.
How many iPhones have I replaced screens on? Because you look at them cross-eyed.
You sneeze at them. Yeah, you like sneeze on your phone. You're just holding it and you sneeze and squeeze it just a little too hard, and it just spider webs across the whole thing, front and back.
Yeah, maybe you guys should talk with Owens Corning. I think they can help you out.
Yeah, Gorilla, some little put some Gorilla Glass on there. It'd be great.
Yeah.
Or their new cameras that have 16 megapixels. Or whatever it is, or 20 megapixels. Ooh,
I think I've got that many megapixels on my car remote.
I think I have that many megapixels. That's the main camera on those phones. Now I'm talking out of my butt a little bit here because I don't remember the exact specs, but it's a really low megapixel count for what the phone is for the new phone. And like I have that many megapixels on my front-facing camera on my phone. My back camera, my main back camera can do up to 250 megapixels.
Yeah, the camera on
and
your
that's
phone
at like
astounding.
an insane, and that's an insane zoom level as well. I can zoom across a parking lot and take a really good picture of a Falcon on top of another semi, a football field away, and the Falcon fills the entire screen.
Yeah.
I can read license plates across a parking lot.
Yeah, it's just amazing.
It's insane.
I'm amazed.
And
I've got the older version of your phone.
Right, and meanwhile, I didn't upgrade to the newest version because the cameras are actually worse and the battery is worse.
Right.
So I got the S23 Ultra with the pen, and that's probably the last phone I'll get for a while, unless this one breaks. But yeah, the camera on this thing is insane.
Yeah.
But then you've got the blue text messages. You know what that is? That's the pager network. They're still using the same pager technology that was around in the 80s to deliver text messages.
Well, nice
and
work.
the only reason, what?
48 apparently, 48 megapixels.
Oh, is the new iPhone is 48?
16.
Ooh,
yeah.
I got a bone to pick with all cell phone manufacturers getting rid of the headphone jack. Can we get back to the quarter?
Get this. The reviewers are saying it's 48 megapixel. It's Apple megapixels, and that the real detail is around 6.
Ugh. Oh yeah, that's another thing that the iPhone fans have always decried the Android users for. Because your camera quality is so bad. Do you know why you think our camera quality is so bad? Is because when an Android user sends a photo to an Apple user, the Apple phone actually downgrades the quality of the photo.
Yeah, it has to downcode it. Yeah.
Yeah, it has to display it, which makes the Android picture look all pixelated.
Speaking of equipment incompatibility, are you done with your Ample rat? Because I got a funny story.
Sure. I mean, I could go on that for a while, but yeah, we'll just move on.
Okay. So as you recall, for the Overlander van, I put on those flame-throwing LED off-road lights.
Oh
right?
yes. I helped with that. I was there.
Yes, you did. You actually put the controller in under the hood, right?
I did.
And remember,
the cool thing.
Yeah, the whole idea there was a Bluetooth controller, right? So I can turn on that individual array of lights. I can turn them on individually. I can group them and do all kinds of cool stuff. And just tap a button on my phone to do it. I don't have to drill a hole through drill a hole through a brand new van to put a little switch panel up, right? All right.
Yes.
There's a critical flaw.
Is it that the engine gets really hot?
No. And in fact, that switching unit works great. Okay. It's Ford. It's Hal, the van, because Hal's got a mind of his own, given to him by Ford, and he's really getting temperamental since I turned off the Wi-Fi hotspot. He can't connect to his overloads.
Oh, you're right. He can't form. Yeah, he can't form Skynet, so he's kind of getting a little depressed.
Right. So instead, he's taking it out on the Bluetooth side. So So I've got it all working. Right. I'm coming home. First time I've driven at night with it, with all the lights available. And I turn on the lower beam, the fogs. I'm like, holy crap! Can I? This is great. They're nice low and wide. Fill out the headlights like good fog lights are supposed to. I can see the deer in the ditches getting ready to jump in front of me.
It's the idea.
So I'm like, right, which is the idea. I'm like, well, this is really all I need. That and the xenons that came with the van because it's got the projectors. This is all I need. Good. This is great. But it's like, you know what? I got to try the off-road lights too. Going down the road. I want to see how they're aimed and just see if So I turn on the big lights up top.
The pillar lights.
Great.
Yes, the sun.
No, I can see into the future. It's great.
Hey, you can see where other people are going.
Right. And I see a vehicle coming the other direction. Like, I got to turn these off because
turn those off.
I've been in front of them. They're punishing. It's like,
yes, they are.
So I tap the button to turn the entire. I don't have to turn them all off individually. I can just tap the button and turn the entire collection of lights at the top off, leaving only the amber lights at the bottom on. So I punch the button. Nothing happens.
Oh.
I punch it again. Nothing happens. I'm like, crap. So I was like, well, maybe it's just how they're grouped. I'll tap individually. Nothing happens. And a little message comes up. This is searching for Bluetooth. Like, no! Oh, no!
oh, no! We suck again!
So meanwhile, this pickup truck's coming kind of close to me, swerving a little bit.
My eyes!
Right. Goes past, and then the lights turn off.
You just look like a total guy finally gets past you. He's fighting off the after images of the sun that he's just stared into. It's like, who the hell is? And he looks in the mirror and the lights turn off.
So it turns out I'll cut. Yeah, I felt really bad actually. I was like, oh,
that guy's got a vendetta against you now. He's like, you have just made a mortal enemy. After he regains his eyesight,
I was going to say, I got nothing to worry about for the next 30 days while he's regaining his vision.
Yeah, so 30 to 90 days. Yeah, you got,
Yeah, and then I got to watch out.
Watch out.
I'm like, oh, this is a problem. So I go into the van and I'm like, what? It's clear that the van's Bluetooth, because I'm using Android Auto, right?
Right.
The van's Bluetooth and the Bluetooth is conflicting on the phone. The phone's having some schizophrenic issues trying to communicate with the van and the light controller at the same time.
And the controller at the same time. Yeah, okay.
Right. So it's okay. I'm going to turn off the van's Bluetooth, just disable it, and only use the USB cable. Right? Shouldn't be a problem, right?
You're wrong, bucko.
No, because even if you use the tether, it will end worse. You can have it turned off on both the phone and the van, and as soon as you plug in the tether,
it'll turn both of them back on.
It'll turn them both back on. Mm-hmm.
Yep, my car does the same thing. Even though I use Android Auto and I plug it in every time I get in my car, it has a Bluetooth connection running in the background for the phone calls.
So now I've got this whole, and what really is going on? Because I can't.
Well, the two frequencies are stopping on each other.
I can't ungeek myself, right? So. The van is calling priority to the communication on the Bluetooth.
Bluetooth.
Okay. But what's it calling priority for? I'm gonna let you guess. One of the things that Android Auto does, right? It shares the screen,
Apps,
shares the apps, phone calls, text messages, right?
audio,
GPS, right? So
audio stuff.
what do you suppose is
microphone?
It's making the priority data connection, right? That
Microphone.
This is the priority that everything else has to wait for.
The Google microphone.
No.
For your advertising.
Try again. No.
Camera.
Nope.
I don't know.
Contacts. Syncing contacts.
Oh.
Has priority 1.
Even
more.
Dog was upset about that.
Yeah. He said, is that upsetting to you, huh, doggy? Yeah. Come on. Tell the listeners. Tell them.
Yeah, tell the listeners.
Yeah.
Wait, we'll have to cut in some snuffling noises here where she sniffs the microphone.
That's what
she
she was
doesn't really
doing.
do that. Yeah, but she doesn't. She's not a loud sniffer like some dogs.
Can you hear her now, or is the noise gate cutting out?
Noise gate's got her.
No, she's talking. So she doesn't like it either. It upset her very much.
She's reading the riot act, the IT guy.
Yeah, the contact sync takes priority over everything. All the traffic going on through Bluetooth, and syncing your contacts is priority 1. Who does that?
The normal people that want to make phone calls while they're driving because they can't be away from any kind of contact with another human being for more than 30 seconds.
But I'm with you. I would think that the microphone would take priority, or the phone calls would take priority.
See, I would think that the microphone would take priority because Google wants to listen to you while you drive and see what you're doing and talking about.
They do. But
between Google and Ford, one of them is going to want to listen to you while you drive.
And the CAA listening outpost. Which, by the way, hi to the guys in the CAA listening outpost. It's good to see you're listening again.
No, that's great. This
so
is not gold for anything.
I have a whole routine now to be able to connect and successfully connect because I was working this out. So the next time I tried it, and I get successfully connected to everything. Because if you do it wrong, see, here's the thing: if I connect the van before I connect if I hit connect to the van before I connect to the light controller, I'll never connect to the light controller because the van won't allow it. Right. I have to connect to the light controller first, then connect to the van, then turn off contacts. Right. And I thought that was all I needed to do. So I'm doing this again, but I said, I got smart design. So I'm using my big off-road light, but only on the passenger side. So that if it does get stuck again, I can at least not have the lights on the driver's side. It won't be as bad.
On the driver's side. Right.
Yeah. But it'll still be bad.
Well, it's still not going to be great.
So same scenario in the same stretch of road. The same thing happens. Like
it might be the same guy. Why?
But it's only on the passenger side this time, and it's the same thing. I'm tapping away.
He's coming back from a late optometrist appointment after getting his retinas looked at from the last time. He's got those weird, the weird flexible shades, right? Sunglasses things that go on underneath your glasses, so that after
but they'll tell you
cataracts,
if you've had that, you shouldn't be driving. They'll tell you.
Yeah, but
why shouldn't I be driving? Because you might come up to this guy in the red van, and then you're blind, and then you're done for.
Right. You're giving some poor man cataracts, is what you're doing.
No, I'm doing cataract laser surgery. Because that one beam is over 3/4 of a mile. It's
right. He's gonna get blinded for like a half hour, going
Because those are the
Baja
racers, man. Those are for off-roading at 100 miles an hour. They're no joke.
Yeah, so
except the joke's on me, apparently, because they work fine. I'm turning the thing on and off on the passenger side. I'm turning those on and off. No problems. I get to the one guy in the one stretch of the road. I see the thing coming. Tappy, tap, 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 tap. Come on, turn off. Tap, tap, tap.
A little more panic. No. Meanwhile, that guy's swerving all over the road going,
Oh, only this time wasn't swerving this time. It was just cursing and flashing his brights. So, improvement, right? It's improvement.
Right. That guy learned to put his sunglasses on before he comes around every bend. He's just got them in his hand like a fast reload.
When you're coming around the bend and up the hill, up the grade of the hill, and there's this halo of light that outlines
It looks like the sun's rising in one particular spot. right in front of you.
Grab those shades right away because,
I don't know what that is, but it's not going to be pretty.
It was the same thing again, only I was prepared. And what I did is I steered the van and went off-road over to the shoulder and aimed the van away, the light beam away from the road by steering,
Right. So as not to blind oncoming traffic.
Well, not to blind as badly, right? And no sooner do I bring the van to a stop, the light goes off. Light goes off. Like, all right, that's it. I'm not messing with these lights anymore. I'm just going to leave the ambers on. But no, I can't do that, right? I mean, we learned that from
No, you can't leave anything
podcasts not that long ago.
Many podcasts.
I can't leave it alone. Can't leave it alone.
Podcasts.
So I'm like, I got to work on my routine here. So now the procedure is to delete, because I go into Bluetooth devices and delete the van completely, right? Connect to the light controller as I approach the van, connect it. I got to sneak up on it. That's what I got to do. Can't just go to the van and sit down. No.
Even my truck's upset about it. It was beeping.
Yeah. I got to sneak up on it. So I approach the van, connect to the light controller. Then I, do the wheelchair thing, get in the van and all that. And I dock the phone, but don't connect the cable yet. So then I reconnect to the lighting controller because in the meantime, the phone's done its thing and I can't have it in dock mode yet. So then I turn on dock mode, open the light controller app, which then reconnects to Bluetooth. Once I know I've got to control the lights, then I can plug in the USB cable, which brings up Android Auto, which brings up this whole dialogue about do you want to connect for this and that, which I deny everything. And then it doesn't, then it gets angry, turns it on anyway. And then I go into the devices and turn off contacts, and then I'm ready to drive.
Like starting an F1 car just so you can control your auxiliary lights.
Right. So I'm going to go look on.
You've just launched the space shuttle in the 60s by doing all of that.
I got a checklist. I got to have a checklist flip.
You should love that. You like airplanes, and airplanes are all about checklists.
Right. I'm okay with it.
Yeah, you should drive me nuts.
I think I am going to go to the Jungle website and pick up a used Android. Maybe you know what? I think I've got a used iPhone sitting around. Anyway,
just use it for Bluetooth?
and only use it to control the lights.
There you go.
So I'm just gonna get another dock it, and then it controls the lights, and we're all good.
I got a cup holder mount phone holder that you could use that I bought for this truck specifically.
Is it WeatherTech?
It's not, but it expands to fit most cup holders, and it can store in both vertical and horizontal mode.
Well, that's cool, and I think I'll put it in vertical mode and portrait mode just because, and just as a final middle finger to the whole. Because I brought it up, you brought it. No more vertical mode, portrait mode when you're taking pictures of things that are happening across the landscape. Okay, people. Oh,
it's called landscape mode. Use it.
I mean, it's like you're looking through. You're trying to record and then repost. And I don't want to hear the TikTok excuse because TikTok does landscape now. So does Instagram.
I haven't seen any,
yeah, they do.
I haven't seen any landscape TikToks.
Yeah, I have.
Of the TikToks.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, I've seen them. So.
Well, that guy's driving that Volvo and he's holding on to it for dear life. It's also snow. By the way, just so listeners are aware, it's snowing in Minneapolis.
Weather report from the maestro. It's snowing in Minneapolis.
Yes, so I'm over here near the Wisconsin-Minnesota border, and there's a gentleman. I
didn't know Minneapolis and Wisconsin had a border.
Yes, they do.
Minneapolis?
Well, technically it's St. Paul, but whatever.
Doesn't border to Wisconsin? Minnesota does.
Minnesota does, and you pretty much go from the Wisconsin border right into the suburbs of St. Paul, Minneapolis. Urban sprawl is a real thing there, my dude.
Must have been. Wow. Oh, well.
When was the last time you were up here? About 100 years ago, back when dinosaurs roamed the earth?
Well, it was just after the glaciers receded, so,
Right, so what would you know?
Apparently nothing. And that's okay. And I'm okay with it.
And keep it that way.
Now, that's in truck driver bladder terms. So, when I lived in the northern part of Indiana, when I got to Indianapolis, I was like practically home. Might as well hold it.
Yeah, it's the same way for me. I get to anywhere near Madison, and I'm like, I'm almost home.
So you get to the Wisconsin-Minnesota border, you're practically to St. Paul. I understand.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm almost. Well, if I get to the St. Paul, if I get to the Minnesota-Wisconsin border, I'm basically at the terminal.
where it's apparently snowing,
which is in Clearwater,
which is good because it's that time of year for snow. Unless you're,
it is,
yeah.
Unless you live in Texas and then fear the coming storm.
Right.
Winter is coming, and it's coming for you specifically, personally. It's coming for you personally.
All right. So back to the whole thing about holding the phone. You're trying to You're trying to show some thing going on that 18 car pile up and the ambulance is upside down on fire or something.
Which is awesome.
Well, it happens.
Maybe not for the ambulance crew, but you're not.
Or a cavalcade of garbage trucks going to somewhere, whatever. And you're holding the phone. You're gripping I understand. It's easy to be, caveman, just go hold phone. And it
naturally
finger
in front of lens.
Right. It naturally wants to go to portrait, but you have to fight that. Be a little more sophisticated and realize there's things going on left and right. Because I want to see what you're trying to show me. I really do. But when it's in vertical mode, it's like looking through a keyhole. Stop it.
It's crazy. My phone even has when it's either whether vertical or horizontal landscape, it has a half zoom. See, you have one time, which is normal zoom, right? Normal filming. You can actually back it off and give it a wide angle.
Yeah, mine will do that. Yeah.
So if you've got a lot of stuff happening in front of you, you can landscape. You can go into landscape and wide angle it, and you can get all the information.
Yeah. So please do that.
Try it sometime.
Pass it along to your friends because I'm tired of looking at your video and I'm craning my neck through the teeny weeny iostranal vision, which is now reduced to a slit, trying to look through a keyhole, trying to see what you're trying to show us. So
if you're filming something and it is exciting, whatever it is, it's a fight, it's an explosion, it's a fire, it's a gun battle, it's a cop chase, whatever. Stop looking away right when the exciting thing happens.
I know.
Every time there's a car crash, there's a whatever, and they're filming the situation, they're getting all the lead up to it. And then right as the car crash happens, the phone points at the ground.
Yeah.
Keep it on the action, please.
That's right. Now that we've overmodulated and distorted and blown the ears out of the listeners.
I'm sure my mind is all garbly and distorted, but I don't care. It needs to be said that if you're filming something, keep it on the action. Hold it steady. Hold the line, sir.
Do I need to send you a deer for an intervention?
Yeah, you might. I might need the deer committee.
Are you okay?
No, I'm not okay. I've seen too many car crash videos where they're filmed by a pedestrian, and then right as something cool's about to happen, it points at the ground because they're busy running away.
Right.
If you're gonna film it, film it. Right. Consequences be damned.
That's right. That's right. Sacrifice your body for the viewers that you don't know.
I've done it. I've filmed things and been in danger for the film, but I got the shot. Damn it.
That's right. That's the difference between a professional and amateur.
You get the shot.
And you get it in the correct mode.
And the correct framing, correct. In the proper framing.
Yeah. So the vertical videos, I don't even watch anymore. I'm like, this one doesn't know how to film.
It depends on the video. If it's just someone talking to the camera and their whole head is in frame,
that would be a portrait.
That's whatever.
That's a portrait. That's what it's for.
That's fine.
Right. Use a cuspidor.
Or you're
that's what
dancing
it's for.
or whatever, and you're dancing in front of your phone and it's portrait. Fine, whatever. But if you're filming, I don't watch them, but that's an acceptable way to view that particular medium.
Yes.
But if you're filming something happening in front of you and it's exciting,
right,
put it in landscape, hold it there, and then make sure you hold it there. And don't miss a moment. It's a Kodak moment. You want to enjoy it.
Can I experiment on your phone? Because you got so many megapixels. I would love to see if I could write an app that automatically puts it in you can select, you can flip a toggle and automatically goes to landscape, even if you're holding it portrait.
Yeah, but then you're just going to get sideways videos in landscape.
No. It would be rotated correctly.
Also, just corrects. It just corrects it.
You're going to lose some resolution because you have to basically ignore a bunch of information.
Yeah.
Right.
You have to turn it.
But it would look right. And you've got so many megapixels in your camera that you'd have megapixels to spare.
I mean, you could just use my old.
It would probably record down to HD instead of recording at 4K. But so what?
You could use my old phone to write that app. It would work the same.
I have an old
Galaxy S9.
Could I use your old phone to as a controller for my lights too?
You mean you don't have an old phone?
I do, but I don't. It's got some critical data on it about our patent that I don't want.
Oh yeah, I can. Yeah, we'll just wipe it. Here you go. It doesn't charge.
No, it'll be on a USB cable permanently.
It doesn't work. That's why I replaced it.
Well, how can I experiment on it if it doesn't work?
You'll have to get a wireless charger for it.
Oh, because the cable's blasted?
Yeah, the port is blasted.
Oh.
It works, but only in certain positions and with certain cables.
Perfect. I can fix that.
So if you can work with that, then it's all yours.
Yeah, I can fix that.
I can fix her.
I can. It's called JB Weld. There it is.
Yeah. Or, you could pull the back off the phone and actually look at the port and see what's buggered up with it.
Some of those phones now, some of those phones have replaceable ports, which was a great idea.
I'm sure that one does.
Yeah.
I just didn't look into it.
To go against your Apple rant.
Uh-huh. I go with Apple rat. Give me a good Apple rat.
There's some Apples that have replaceable ports as well.
Yeah, they're also switching over to USB-C, which is what everybody else is using.
Yeah,
instead of the stupid Lightning connectors.
I mean,
it's about time Apple got into the present for something.
And on that note, ladies and gentlemen,
end this thing.
Yeah,
put this thing down like Old Yeller.
Right. So thanks for listening, and
we're sorry in advance.
Yeah, exactly. And in retrospect, both. And thanks for sticking with us.
I'm only sorry in advance. I'm never sorry in retrospect.
Well, that's progress, right? So pretty soon you will not be ranting at restaurants anymore. So
we'll see. We'll see about that.
Thanks for tuning in, and adios.
Adios.
Adios. Adios, muchachos, caballeros. When you get out of here.
Well, hopefully we're not up.
We got something.
Well, it's something. Hopefully we're not up on Apple Play yet. I've been working on that.
It doesn't matter. Screw 'em. And their stupid proprietary hardware.
Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time.